Am I audible to you? Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I hope you're able to hear me now. Yes. एक बार yes बोल दीजिए YouTube पे. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with today's session, and we are going to talk about the international affairs today. What are the major things which are related to international scenario? How you need to perceive this section? What are the things you need to keep in mind when it comes to international affairs? What are the things that are important to you? What are the major changes which are happening in the international politics? Everything related to that. So when it comes to international affairs, there are so many things which are happening at the same time. When we talk about the two kinds of axes, we have at one side, we have USA, the other side, we have Russia, and we have a lot of history behind it. Okay, so are you ready, everyone? Yes? All right then. See, when it comes to the international politics or international affairs, a lot of things you need to understand is one thing is for sure that whenever you start with the international politics, they need to have some kind of historical background to it, some kind of history behind it. And what was that history? It was precisely related to the international overview, politics का जो overview था, that was related to basically the politics. इसमें we started with the World War One. Now, when I say World War One, the world was divided into two kinds of powers. One side, World War, there were Axis powers, central powers, Germany, Austria, Hungary, and all that. The other side, we had Allied power who were ruling from a very long time. So Allied powers included Britain, France, Russia, Italy, उस समय it was USSR, Japan and US. So both were at loggerheads with each other. World War One. Now, as the World War ended, it basically resulted into a heavy war indemnities on Germany. You already know that Germany basically suffered a lot in terms of heavy penalties, war indemnities, all kind of compensation, and sanctions on which Germany was put into by of course, the Allied powers. So when it comes to all that, World War One basically ended with a defeat of Germany and this central powers. But even when the World War One ended, it resulted in what kind of organization? It was League of Nations. When I say League of Nations, what does it mean? UNO's predecessor, United Nations Organization, deals with international peace and security. Same was the work of League of Nations to maintain the international peace and security soon after the World War One. But was it able to do that? The answer is no. Because even at the end of the First World War, we witnessed that Germany was absolutely in shambles. Still, Germany is known as the phoenix in international politics. Do you know the meaning of phoenix? What does the word phoenix means? Phoenix means that the bird which rises from its own ashes. Okay? The bird which rises from its own ashes after every 300, 400 years and live a new life. Germany is known as the phoenix of international politics. Every time you destroy Germany, it starts with a different vigor. So that is what the Germany has always been about. Are you understanding? Yes? Please comment on the YouTube. Okay? So when it comes to Germany, it has always been known for its resilience. Okay? Now, when all this was happening, Germany again bounced back with the World War II. League of Nations was not able to maintain that international peace and security. Is that clear? So League of Nations was not able to maintain that. And after that, World War II happened. Now, the Axis power we have were Germany, Italy, and Japan. These were the Axis powers. France, Britain, US, Soviet Union were at one side. World War II began. As the World War II was about to end, it was very clear that this time the Axis power are going to have an upper hand. Are you understanding? Yes or no? So, what happened at the last moment? There was an attack on Pearl Harbor. You remember? Yes? Attack on Pearl Harbor. And this attack on Pearl Harbor actually irked USA. USA, though, was part of Britain and France, but not directly retaliatory. So, what happened after there was an attack on Pearl Harbor by Japan? Then there was an attack, atom bomb attack by US on which of the two cities? Anyone? Which of the cities and when? It was, yes, the first attack, 6th August, which city? Yes. Please answer in the comment section. Very good. Hiroshima on 6th August and Nagasaki on 9th August, which happens to be Hiroshima and Nagasaki Day. And this ended the World War II in the favor of definitely again the Allied powers. Germany again, back to building Germany again. Okay. So this was the background. And soon after the World War II, what was formed? Soon after the World War II, there was basically United Nations organization whose main job was to maintain the international peace and security, because there is no war which has happened after the Second World War. So we can say that till now it is doing a fair job. Soon after the Second World War, in 1945, the period from 1945 to 1990 is known as the period of Cold War. Now, what is Cold War? Bipolar world order. What do you mean by bipolar world order? See, what is bi means two. Bipolar world order, the world was divided into two kinds of powers. At one side, we had US. The other side, we had USSR. Today, Russia, then it was USSR. Am I clear? बीच-बीच में थोड़ा सा yes बोलते रहिएगा. So when it comes to the bipolar world order, it means the whole world, the power of the world is divided into two poles. These two poles are of America and USSR. US was ruled by an ideology of capitalism and USSR was ruled by an ideology of communism. Now, what is capitalism? You know, communism is according to your need. Whatever is your need will be provided to you. But that is the only thing. You cannot rise very much in this kind of political system. But what is capitalism? According to your capacity, sky is the limit. Your capacity will decide your future. So that is capitalism. Though both the political systems have some problems. In the communist society, there was no place for ambition. There was no place for going upwards. There was no place for rising above the normal. But in the capitalism, though you can move above, but the basic minimum standard of living was not ensured to everyone. So the rich became richer and poor got poorer. Both the system had its flaws. And both the countries, both the parts, US and USSR, wanted to prove one thing, that our political system is the best, our political system is the best. Hence came military alliances, Cold War. Why it is known as Cold War? Can anyone tell me in the comment box exactly what does it mean to have a Cold War and not a hot war? Yes. Cold War means that there was no proper war going on, but very good, Mayank. But there was the situation of tension, the situation of this was the war of nerves and ideologies. Both were opposite to each other, but they did not went to the battlefield to fight. That was the Cold War. The world was living with a fear of war that eventually never happened. What was the prime reason? Very good, Yash, Jeff, very good, everyone. Very good, Lakshu. It's an indirect war, it is an ideological war, but not a proper war. It can be a diplomatic war, it can be. Now, what is deterrence? Why this war never happened? The biggest reason for that was that this war never happened. Reason being, this in this war, you saw that there was a lot of fear. Both the kinds of countries were trying to build their force in terms of weapons, nuclear weapons, and everything, but they never used it. So if you have more power than me, you will attack me. If I have more power than you, then I will attack you. But if we both know that we have equal amount of power, we both will practice restraint. Yes or no? This is known as deterrence in international politics. DETERRENCE. So what is deterrence? A fear of being attacked. Got it, beta? So ये बस Y लिख दीजिएगा, so I get answer. So that was the situation. Cold War, that is bipolar world order. Now the situation, now what happened? As this was a very insecure kind of time, military alliances and military pacts were forged. US started a military alliance, a lot of military alliances actually, but majorly for Europe and North America, it started a military alliance which was NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Have you heard about it? North Atlantic Treaty Organization. This is the main bone of contention between Russia and Ukraine crisis. Are you aware of it? Yes? Yes? Okay. So what is NATO? North Atlantic Treaty Organization. When we talk about North Atlantic Treaty Organization, it actually means a military alliance. So when you join NATO, any attack on any of the country who is the member of NATO will be considered as an attack on all the member nations. And NATO is going to retaliate. For that, you need to give some amount or something to NATO, like as a fees or something. And rest assured, focus on your economic development. Your security is the headache of NATO. That is what North Atlantic Treaty Organization is all about. Now, this was at the time of Cold War. Soon the NATO was formed. After that, the same kind of pattern, USSR also, for USSR countries, USSR also formed a group, Warsaw Pact. Now, what was Warsaw Pact? It used to give the security umbrella to USSR and Eastern European countries. So what they were doing is, Western European countries, absolutely NATO and America related. The Eastern European countries, USSR connected. Are you understanding? Yes or no? So there was a war, but that was not direct. That was indirect. Now the question is, in 1990, what happened? The USSR collapsed. Okay. Now USSR disintegrated. Now after USSR, there was only one country from which it was there, Russia. Russia took lead, and all the 17 republics of the USSR became the independent countries. You already know Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Belarus, Azerbaijan, Armenia. Yes or no? Former USSR countries. Yes? So ये सब अलग हो गए. Now what happened is, there was an unsaid rule. What was that unsaid rule? That any of the former USSR territories, okay, are you understanding what is the problem with Russia? Any of the former USSR colonies will not be the part of NATO. Number one. Eastern European countries will also not be the part of NATO. And when Warsaw Pact ended with the Cold War, why NATO is still in existence? That is the thing. Russia believes that NATO has only one hidden aim. And what is that hidden aim? What, according to Russia, is the problem with NATO? What is the ulterior motive or hidden agenda of NATO according to Russia? Why Russia is suspicious of NATO? Till today, Russia believes that the only reason why NATO came into existence was to counterbalance Russia and to stop Russia's expansion. That is it. Every time NATO does something, it is just to counterbalance Russia. Absolutely, Yash. So that is why it's obvious that Russia is very much against it. Moreover, Eastern European countries and former USSR countries, this is an absolute no. It is like putting a feet on the hegemony of Russia. You are entangling in the matters of Russia. Right? If Finland is joining, Sweden is joining, that's fine. But otherwise, you cannot, make everyone enter into NATO. Got it? Yes or no? This was the biggest thing. And you already know that Ukraine was the former what? former USSR territory. That was, and not only that, Russia and Ukraine share a very porous border. They share a border. And if Ukraine can be used as a base for NATO, that would be detrimental to Russia. So that was the whole Russian concern. And what happened with Ukraine is not, a chota mota, a non-powerful country. No, Ukraine is almost in top 3 in, say it, mineral resources, oil, excavations, food production, almost everything, education. So it is a very lucrative kind of territory. So if it gets into the fold of NATO, then Russia will lose its clout. Got it? I hope you're understanding the whole trajectory. Yes? Now, after the 1990, the world turned into unipolar world order. What do you mean by the unipolar world order? What is unipolar? Where we have only one superpower. So who's the superpower as of now? US. It will take time for other countries to catch up US, but at present, US is the most powerful in terms of economy, in terms of military, and Russia can be number 2, but US is mostly number 1. The most powerful country, or we can say the unipolar world order or superpower. Now the world is moving towards multipolarity. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by we assuring the new, a new era of multipolarity? What exactly is multipolarity? In the comment box. Multipolarity. Multipolar world order. Multipolarity means where not only one country is important, there are other nations also who are trying to assert their power. That is multipolarity. So you see an America, but now you see a Britain and France gaining momentum again. Then you see a Russia, which cannot be treated as Cold War loser, again gaining momentum. Then we have a dragon. Who is the dragon? Absolutely, Sunny. Who's the dragon? He's trying to gulp everyone, all the islands. Modern day Lala. Yes. Who is the dragon? Which country? Anyone? I am talking about which country acting as a dragon, trying to, very good, Yash, Sora. It is China. Very good. China is gaining momentum in terms of manufacturing, in terms of islands, Chobi. China is working very well. The China is there, then India is there, Brazil is there. All these countries coming together. Now, the whole world at present is divided again into two kinds of poles. What are those two poles? At one side we have US. The other side, we have Russian axis. Now, when I say US axis, what are the countries which are, almost at same on same page in most of the things when it comes to US? So what are the countries? It could be the Europe, yes or no, especially the Western European countries. And who else? US friends, come on. Australia, Japan, obviously after World War II became the friends. Okay, Japan can be there. Japan, Australia, Western European countries, majorly Germany, Japan, Italy, all these kind of countries. Now, when we talk about the two kinds of Muslim countries, we have Sunni Muslim countries and Shia Muslim countries. You know that the leader of Sunni Muslim country is Saudi Arabia, and the leader of Shia Muslim countries is Iran. Yes or no? Yes. So if I may ask you, America is in good terms with Saudi Arabia or Iran? So Saudi Arabia in America's group or Russian group? Definitely we have Canada also here. Yes. Saudi Arabia, US side. Iran, that is the Shia, Russian side. Got it? So China, Russia, Iran, one side. US, European countries, Germany, Britain, France, all this with Saudi Arabia, one side. Got it? Yes or no? Now, in most of the things, most of the issues, you will see that these countries are always anti each other. Now, then what is the Israel's position? Israel is basically not in good terms with Muslim countries. They have a history. So, in terms of Jew versus Islamist, they cannot go together. So, in any case, but is Israel having a back of US? Yes or no? I just want to know the group. US or Russia? Yes. Yes, US, obviously. US basically was the country, it was, you can say, a conspiracy of the European and American world to create a country called Israel at the place where Palestinians were already living. Now, there is a history, religious history to it. Even in the holy book of Quran and their respective book, Jew book, we have the mention of the promised land. What is that promised land? The Jerusalem part. So Israel is at a wrong place, not exactly true. Jews were always present there. But the very time the country was formed by Palestine. But there were always some Jews which were present at that land, which was the promised land in their holy text. So, when they do not have any state, all the Jews means Israel. Jews were spread in all the world. When you don't have your own state, the whole state world becomes your state. Are you understanding? So that was the context. But then Americans and Europeans decided that let's give them the land, one land, as we have promised them to give them the state. Now you should understand why it was done so. Jews are known for their intellect. You place them anywhere in the world. I'm talking about the Jew resilience also. Jews are the most persecuted community in the world. They're persecuted by Hitler, Islamist, Christians. ऐसा कोई नहीं है जिन्होंने इनको persecute नहीं किया है. उसके बावजूद they developed that resolve and they fought back and they became such daredevils that anyone who even think of attacking them They already attacked them. So they developed an offensive strategy of defense. For them, offense is the best defense. So what they actually did, Europeans and these countries, they placed Israel in the middle of Middle East. Are you understanding? Now, when they were placed in the Middle East, you need to understand that it was surrounded by all the Muslim countries. The idea was that, see, listen, Christians have problems with Jews historically and religiously. Jews also have problems with Islamists. These three have always have been opposite to each other. But now Christians have become more friendly and all that. But Islamists and Jews rivalry is very much apparent. Christians also has a problem with Jews, but now Christian world has become little accommodated. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So it was decided, let's give them the land, but they did not give the land in Europe or near America. You know why? Because Jews had a lot of intellect. What they wanted was that the whole energy of Jews must be only wasted in fighting their battles with the Muslim countries because they have the problem with them. Yes or no? Palestine also has a cause. But how can you settle someone on our land? That was their concern. But the question is, was there any period in the world history going back, even at the time when Islam was not there? क्या उस समय से भी you see Jews there? Yes. But as a nation, Israel happened little late. Now, what is the point is that the both countries have a right to exist. What does India believe? India believes that we believe Palestine has a right to exist. So we also believe that Israel also has a right to have a state. Hamas, the terrorist outfit, are you understand the hardliner from the Palestinian side? They believe जिन्होंने पूरा गवर्नमेंट को ही हटा दिया है. They believe that Israel has to be wiped out. That is their mindset. Palestinian cause के लिए लड़ रहे. Now what they do is they use Palestinians as shield. Every time Israel asks them to please vacate this place, we are going to attack this, they go in the bunkers and let the innocent people die. Are you understanding? Now when the 7th October episode happened, 7th October they were celebrating Jew festival. And that 7th October 2023, if you remember, that was the time when Hamas attacked Jews. Around 350 people were abducted, killed and paraded naked. And after that, they were abducted and they already knew that after that day, Israel is not going to leave them. But they were prepared for that. They just wanted to attack Israel people. Now the whole situation in the beginning was with the Israel. Because attack किस पर हुआ था? Israel पर हुआ. That is fine. But the amount of reaction, the retaliation which came from the Israeli side was humongous. To an extent that till today, a lot of people are dying there in Palestine. Now, when I say Gaza, a lot of people are displaced. 80% of the people of Gaza are displaced. And this way, you can say the moral ground of Israel has been taken away. Now people believe that Israel is an aggressor. Israel should be stopped. And Israel has always been a problem. Israel says, nobody talks about the abductions. Why are we talking about peace? Peace cannot start without you leaving the people who have been kidnapped by Hamas. And Israel was very clear, we are going to dismantle Hamas. Anyone which comes in between, we will not leave. That is the whole idea of Israel. So, Israel has in life देखिए Israel और Palestine के both are very much correct in their own sphere, but you need to understand one thing. Israel is offensive. They are surrounded by, so Israel was placed strategically there so that the energy get consumed into this zone. But what exactly happened? Every country became scared of Israel, and Israel became such a powerful nation, and it actually secured the whole country in a way that no missile or anything can reach Israel only. Every time you attack Israel, you are going to be attacked. So that is the thing. Even Israel attacks beforehand so that you sit quiet and never create any nuisance. Whenever the Israel, this time when they were celebrating, they had their guards down. When you have your guards down, you are on a very festive mode, and that was the time they were taken as a surprise. And that is why till today Israel is just killing the people, whoever comes in between. Are you understanding the whole episode? Yes. Now you cannot take sides into this, because Israel has their own way, Palestine is also right, Hamas are fighting for the Palestinian cause. So Palestinians cannot be expected कि आप Hamas को हमें सौंप दे, वो भी वो ऐसा नहीं करेंगे, because Palestinians know that they are fighting for us. Are you understanding? Yes or no? So in that way, definitely this is how it moves. Now, when it comes to Russia-Ukraine crisis, Ukraine, Europe, America supporting, Russia other side. In terms of Israel, again, America has the back of Israel. But in terms of Palestine and all the Muslim countries, it is supported by that Iran. Now, Iran and Palestine, इसमें एक बड़ा अलग relation है. Shia Sunni cannot stand each other. But यहाँ पर Muslim world is coming together. But if they're coming together, why aren't they opening the borders? They don't want the Palestinians or Gazan people to enter. Jordan, Egypt, they have closed everything. So what kind of Muslim brotherhood is there? So there is a lot of hypocrisy into also going there. But there is one thing which is sure, innocent people are dying. That is the problem. And you cannot stop Israel, because Israel always, वैसे भी Israel को you cannot stop in terms of security. Whenever you breach that, you'll have to pay heavily. But how much? That is the problem, and that is the question which need to be answered. Clear? Yes? Yes? So these are those things which cannot be looked at in a binary. Do you know the meaning of binary, beta? Binary means right and wrong, black and white. Nothing like that. It is like sometimes you will feel Jews have been tormented. Sometimes you will feel Palestine की क्या गलती है. Sometimes you will feel Ukraine is also right on its part. Sometimes, so these are the issues in which you have to only talk about what is India's stance, and we don't even care. See, listen to me. How much does it matter if a country is around 6,500 kilometers away from us? If Ukraine becomes powerful, it is Russia's problem, not our problem. Is that clear? Number two, if Russia becomes powerful, that is US problem, not our problem. Anything which does not concern us directly, why should we step into that? This is how we maintain a strategic balance between both the countries. Strategic silence. What do you mean by strategic silence? You must keep quiet when it does not even concern you. Why unnecessarily support or oppose anyone? If it isn't been asked, keep your mouth shut. That is strategic silence. Are you understanding? Yes or no? And obviously strategic distance. If I am at a lot of distance with these areas, why it should not even bother me? If, and S. J. Shankar said it very beautifully once, Why do Europe feel that its problem is the world's problem and world's problem is not its problem? I am the most populated country as of now, India. I am myself an axis. I don't need to join America or Russian axis. This is what his words were. Correct? Hai? Yes or no? So India is maintaining a very good strategic balance. Now what you see is we have good relations with US also. Then we have a very good relation with Russia. We have good relations with Israel, as well as we support Palestine. We have good relations with both Saudi Arabia and Iran. So any of the countries are opposite to each other, having good relations with us. Why irk anyone unnecessarily? Or I mean, recently, our Prime Minister has met Ukraine President also, and it is trying to mediate between Russia and Ukraine. Aren't you aware of it? Yes. Yes. Are you listening? Yes. Are you understanding everything? Yes, beta. Yes. Chat YouTube comment box. Say yes or no. Okay. Now let's discuss about some of the contemporary international issues. How China is trying to gain the momentum. I already told you that China is basically acting as a dragon here. It is belonging to the island, gulping all the islands, Taiwan, Hong Kong, every country basically. And then we have the Belt and Road Initiative. What is this Belt and Road Initiative? It is known as One Belt, One Road Initiative. It's a global infrastructure development strategy which is adopted by Chinese government. It was started in 2013 to invest around 1 trillion in 70 countries to develop their infrastructure. So what exactly China is doing is China is putting a lot of money in the infrastructure projects of the weak countries. So weak ho nahi ho, but it is developing infrastructure. Around 70 countries and will have a relation with international organization. So economic Silk Route and Pani Wala Silk Route has been developed. Where focus will be on China. So China becoming, you already know that in terms of trade, China, India has the maximum import from China. Yes or no? So what is Belt and Road Initiative? It is going to give all the countries leaving India. Obviously, India is not going to join it. So Saurabh, a very good question. Let me take this question. We are not joining or opposing any group, but it is quite naturally come or beautifully come to us that we have good relations with US, but US is not asking us to have, tough blood with Russia. Russia has always been our all-weather friend. So we have developed that friendship. But Russia also never says that you break all the relations with US. So India is quite lucky into it that India is accepted in the world as more like a organically neutral kind of country who takes the stand, but until and unless it is required, why unnecessarily meddle your nose into it? That's what I was talking about, sorry. Got it? Yes. Organically, India is having a good relation with everyone, but and we should also avoid taking sides because we have concerns with every country. That is the goal. We have stakes with everyone. Because when a country grows democratically, when a country is growing, you know why US is not doing that? US का सबसे बड़ा market India है. India is the biggest market for US. And US is only loyal to one thing in this world, its own national interest. If you are not that good in terms of providing the market or anything, then maybe the story was different. You know, everything is calculated on the cost benefits basis. कौन सा कंट्री आपको फायदा दे रहा है उसको आप काफी चीजें माफ कर दे. कौन सा country is not giving you anything, you will be stricter on that. That is how the international politics works. Got it? Yes. So when it comes to the Belt and Road Initiative, 70 countries may it is developing the infrastructure. Now, whenever China is developing this kind of things, or infrastructure development of China will definitely is a counterbalance to India. Why? Because most of the neighboring countries of India are falling in this trap. Why? Sri Lanka made have you heard about the Hambantota port? How it has developed this port? Poor Sri Lanka was not able to, repay. And what happened? That port was taken away. Same thing happening with Pakistan and Nepal and all. So basically, it is creating an Asian hegemony with Belt and Road Initiative just to counter the Indian power. Then, uske counterbalance pe, we formed a group. What is that group? Quadrilateral Security Dialogue Group. Now, who are the members of Quad? Quad contains India, US, Australia, and Japan. Are you understanding? So, India, US, Australia, and Japan. And Quad was the result of Shinzo Abe's approach. Shinzo Abe, the former Prime Minister of Japan, who was assassinated thode samay pehle, he was shot down. India, US, Australia, and Japan. Quad to counterbalance China's growing menace. Got it? Yes or no? This is how the alliances, the axes are formed. Clear? Okay. Now, RCEP issue. Even in terms of free trade agreement, when we talk about the free trade agreement, RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, is a free trade agreement between ASEAN members. Now, what is ASEAN? Association of Southeast Asian Nations. जितने भी Southeast Asian nations हैं, उनकी grouping को we call ASEAN. So ASEAN free trade agreement members and Australia, China इन्होंने join किया है. And India at the last moment did not join this. What was the reason? We already have a trade deficit with China. The biggest trade deficit we have is with China. And if we used to, agar hum isko join karte, then that it would have been double the deficit. So India maintained the distance from RCEP because it was going to benefit China. Got it? Now we come to some other part, and this is related to some of the African countries. There are certain things which are related to these African countries, and there are certain, terrorist organization, ethnic conflicts which have been going on in these countries. Let's have a look to that. Sudan. Sudan was later divided into earlier Sudan and then South Sudan. Sudan or North Sudan, officially the Republic of Sudan, capital Khartoum, and there is an ethnic conflict which goes on in Sudan. That is this one. Just a moment. Just a moment. Okay. Can you tell me this Darfur conflict is basically related to Sudan? Can you tell me one thing? What was that operation which India did to bring back people from Sudan? Evacuation from Sudan. What was that operation called? Anyone? What was that operation called? Yes. Which operation brought Indians back from Sudan? Yes. Answer in the comment box. Very good, Saurabh. Yes. Operation Kaveri. Absolutely right. Operation Kaveri to bring back Indians from the troubled Sudan. Darfur conflict is part of Sudan. Sudan also has a new country. Very good, Yash. And that is South Sudan. This is the newest country of the world, the 193rd member of UNO. Capital is Juba. And then it has adopted democracy. national language. Clear? Yes? Can you tell me what was the operation which brought back Indians from Afghanistan? Quickly. Indians from Afghanistan. Yes? From Afghanistan. Operation Dev Shakti. Yes, Operation Dev Shakti. People from Afghanistan. Yes. What about Yaman? Which operation brought back Indians from Yaman? Yemen. Anyone? Yemen. Very good, Sanvi. Okay. To bring back Indians from Yemen, operation. Yes. These things have been in news. Very good, Sanvi. Operation Rahat to bring back Indians from Yemen. Which operation recently helped Turkey and Syria in earthquake? Displaced people. Can you tell me what was that operation recently to help Syria and Turkey struggling with earthquake? Yes. Very good. It is Operation Dost. Very nice. What about earthquake in Nepal? What was that operation? Operation Maitri. Yes, Dost or Maitri for the assistance. What about bringing people back from Ukraine? What is that operation? Yes, anyone? Back from Ukraine. Students. Operation? Anyone? Come on. Very good. Or Kapoor. Operation Ganga. What about the operation which brought back Indians from Israel after this war? In the midst of this war. What is that operation? Anyone? To bring back people from Israel? Very good. Operation Ajay. Absolutely right. Operation Ajay. Correct. Perfect. What about COVID crisis? Bringing back Indians from the various countries. What was that mission? COVID crisis. Yes, it was Vande Bharat mission. Yes or no? All that. So basically, evacuations which have taken place recently, okay, all that. Nigeria, again an African country, which dealing with a terrorist outfit, Boko Haram. Boko Haram is the terrorist outfit of Nigeria. Okay. And it is the country in Western Africa. It is founded by Muhammad Yusuf to purify the Islam. Got it? That is the main. Then we talk about Somalia, again an African country. Somalia, we have an armed conflict. We have Al-Shabaab terrorist outfit. Terrorist outfit Al-Shabaab is the part of Al-Qaeda. Somalia mein we have Al-Shabaab. So which terrorist outfits are related to what? After this, okay, tell me something. Recently, you have heard about Hamas. Hamas are related to which country? Hamas related to which country? They have been in news. Hardliners, terrorists, जो भी आप बोलो. Yes, Hamas related to which? Very good, Jeff. It is related to Palestine. Super. What about Hezbollah? Where is Hezbollah operating? Which is far more powerful than Hamas. Hezbollah. Yes. Very good, Dhruv. Hezbollah. Hezbollah. Which Middle East country? Very powerful. It has been saying that if Hezbollah enters the war, it will be a very tougher one. Hezbollah is related to Lebanon. Okay? It is related to Lebanon. Very good. What about Houthi? Houthi is a Shia group. Which country? Houthis. Houthis are related to which country? Very good, Yash. Houthis. Houthis? Anyone? Houthis are related to Yemen. Yemen. Yeah. Got it? Yes. Now, these are some of the things, some of the issues which were happening recently. And now we'll have a quick review of the international organizations. Very good, Yash. Which are there and basic things. Obviously, if a new country is joining or anything, you may add it in the current affairs later. But this is a concept building, the basic idea I'm giving. So we start with international organizations now. Number one, United Nations Organization, soon formed out of this after the Second World War. Okay, and what this organization was all about, to maintain the international peace and security. The latest member, 193rd member, is South Sudan. Now, what is the problem here? UNO has a General Assembly, which is like a world parliament. Okay? It is like the world parliament. And in this world parliament, every country, like 193 members, have their representatives. But the ultimate power lies in the Security Council. Now, the Security Council is further divided into two kinds of countries: non-permanent members and permanent members. When it comes to the non-permanent members, we have 10 non-permanent members. When it comes to the permanent members, we have 5 permanent members. The 10 non-permanent members keep on changing every 2 years. Okay? But the 5 permanent members who have the real say in UNO, these are only 5. Can you tell me which are those 5 permanent members or P5 of UNO? Any of the exam, Aniket, what exam are you targeting as of now? Which are the 5 permanent members of UNO? P5. Absolutely right. We have Russia. We have, yes, Aniket, leaving CAT. All the other exams will have, or if not GK, the written ability. If not that, some GDPI or interviews anywhere. But some awareness is very important here. That way, we have a section also. Got it? Okay. So we have France, we have Russia, US, UK, and China. Very good. China, France, Russia, UK, US. These are the 5 permanent members of UN. When I say 5 permanent members of UNO, it simply means that most of the decisions are taken by these 5 countries because they enjoy a veto power. What do you mean by veto power? Stamp me in terms of GDs and interviews. Yes, veto is the power to say no. If any of the thing you exercise your veto, that decision does not happen. So most powerful, these 5 countries. And now we're talking about the UNO's reform. Some more countries must be added. All the continents are not very well represented also. So if you say Asia is the biggest, if you know that Asia is the biggest continent, then we have only China. Russia को वैसे भी we consider in Eurasia. So Japan or India, any of the two or both should be there. In terms of Africa, South Africa is the very prime contender. Okay, South Africa is the prime contender. Then in terms of South America, we have no country. So Brazil is one of the important position which we can have. Europe में P5+1. Can you tell me +1 किसको कहा जाता है? जो ऑलमोस्ट सारे डिस्कशंस में होता है, जिसके बिना कोई डिसीजन लिया नहीं जाता है, उसको हम +1 कहते हैं. Can you tell me a +1? Which country is +1? Yes. P5+1 किसको बोला जाता है? It is Germany. Germany is treated as +1. So Germany also must be added into it. So these are the reform things which happen. India को भी आना चाहिए. So we have formed a group and that group is G4. What is G4? Germany, Brazil, India, Germany, Brazil, India, and Japan. We are the prime contenders and we support each other's candidature. So that is why we must be the members. किसी को भी पहले मिले बाद में मिले doesn't matter, but we support each other. That is G4. Very good, Abhishek. Then we talk about an organization quickly. WHO, World Health Organization, headquarters Geneva, Switzerland. 7th April is also the World Health Day, when the World Health Organization was formed. Public Health और Cooperation के लिए, it is an agency of UN. Then we come to IMF. International Monetary Fund, headquarters Washington DC. Both IMF and World Bank same headquarter and same members. It is to provide monetary cooperation for international trade and commerce, and World Bank provides loans. Quickly, just a roundup. World Trade Organization. When we talk about the World Trade Organization, its headquarters Geneva, Switzerland. The last member which was added in WTO was Afghanistan. Soon after the WTO added Afghanistan, Afghanistan was taken on by Taliban rule. Is that clear? So it was taken by Taliban rule, and basically it has been a problem to deal with Talibanis from their time. What is SAARC? South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation. The South Asian countries grouping, which is not working very well now, because all the South Asian countries do not have a very good relation with each other. Headquarters Kathmandu, Nepal, founded in 85. पूरी अटैक के बाद इस्लामाबाद में जो समिट होने वाला था वो कैंसिल हो गया था. उसके बाद से the no summit has taken place. The Charter of SAARC says that no bilateral issues will be discussed. But this never happens because most of the time they're discussing only the bilateral issues and they are criticizing each other. Hence, the group does not even need a burial. It has almost ended because no meeting after that episode. Members are India, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Bhutan, Maldives, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan. A very powerful, a very good group in terms of trade definitely is ASEAN, which stands for Association of Southeast Asian Nations. The Southeast Asian countries, East Asian countries, trade bloc. Headquarter is Jakarta, Indonesia. Headquarter in Jakarta, Indonesia. And ASEAN has 10 nations. What are these 10 nations? So we have Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines. Then we have Laos, Cambodia, Brunei, Myanmar, and Thailand and Vietnam. So these are Southeast Asian countries, ASEAN. India has the biggest trade pact with trade agreement with ASEAN. Done. Then we talk about OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. This is known as the Rich Countries Club, the most powerful rich countries of the world. Headquarter Paris, France, around 37 members. Got it? Yes. Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. It was created to have infrastructure, support the building of infrastructure in Indo-Pacific region and funding for the purpose. Headquarters Beijing. Yes, India was one of the first members of this. BRICS, very important. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. BRICS. Fastest growing economies of the world. Headquarter, Shanghai. Members, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Fastest growing economies of the world, that is BRICS. New Development Bank, BRICS Bank, which actually came as a part of BRICS. Headquarters Shanghai, China, and the name New Development Bank was given by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Okay, so the new members are UAE, Uruguay, and Bangladesh. Asian Development Bank, headquarters Manila, Philippines, provides loan to the Asian countries. Growth and cooperation among the Asian Pacific region. OPEC, Organization for Petroleum exporting countries. Founder countries, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iran, Iraq, Vietnam. These were the founding members. Today we have around 12 to 14 members in it. Oil-rich countries, production and export of this. Shanghai Cooperation Organization. When we talk about Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the Russian वाला जो part है, वो grouping है ये. इसमें भी इंडिया है. तो SCO stands with Russia. It would have headquarter China. Russia, China. Then we have Central Asian countries, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. There's only one Central Asian country, absolutely, which are not the part of SCO. And that is Turkmenistan, because it's a neutral country. Apart from the Central Asian, four Central Asian, Russia and China, we have India, Pakistan, and now we have Iran also here. So you would see that this is the grouping of Russia wala category. Got it? SCO. G7. G7 stands for the most developed nations of the world. Earlier it had Russia also, so it was G8. Now it is G7. Group of developed nations. So it has US, it has UK, France, Germany, Japan, Italy, Canada, all this. Got it? Yes? Say yes or no. G15 is the group of developing nations. Okay, so it has now 18, all the middle range countries. Sri Lanka, India, even China for that matter. All these are part of G15. G20 is the group of both developed and developing countries. G20 summit आपको पता है last 2023 में हुआ था. Now it is going to be held in, yes, Brazil. Okay, so G20 summit, G20 is a group of both developed and developing nations. It is a dialogue between both the kinds of countries. Very good, Yash. Now we have BIMSTEC. Bay of Bengal. Now, instead of SARC, we are now focusing on BIMSTEC. So, आप ये कह सकते हैं that which grouping has taken the place of SARC with us? Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, headquartered Dhaka. Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and Thailand. So we don't have Pakistan here. We don't have Afghanistan here. We instead have, we don't have even Maldives also, Myanmar and Thailand. BIMSTEC countries. Mekong Ganga is a cultural group for promoting tourism and culture, education, as well as transport and communication. Members India, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, and Vietnam. European Union. It is the grouping of European nations. Headquarter Brussels, Belgium. Latest country 28, Croatia. There are certain countries which are the part of European Union, And in this, European Union also means that some are part of Eurozone, जिनका currency euro है, around 19 countries. Rest, the total members are 28. NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, as a security defense pact formed in 1949. Brussels, Belgium is the headquarter. 31 around members. I think Sweden has also been added. So these are the NATO nations. Ukraine as of now not the member. Done? Yes. I hope you understood well. I hope you liked the class. I hope in this 1.5 hour, we are able to cover a lot of things. Yes. So मैंने आपको ये सारा एक्सेस समझाया है, यूएस, रशिया, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Russia, Ukraine crisis, Palestine, Israel. So all that. So the other classes we would also be talking about the different kinds of aspects related to this topic and some other topics, specific topics also. Thank you, Karthik. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. I'm taking some of the comments now. Thank you so much, Karthik. I'm so glad. Thank you, Jeff. Good night, Aniket. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being such a lovely audience. Bye-bye. Thank you, Aniket. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot.